quote J-Lo and the immortal Geely, it's turkey time. Gobble gobble. Word pause, yes. Yeah, turkey time. Why? Because it's almost Thanksgiving. We're still talking about the Kentucky Derby and all the preparations going into it and all the horses that are possibly going to be hitting those prep races coming up as soon as January. So what do we got on today's slate? Oh, first off, AI image of the week. Alpha's a jockey. Who saw that coming? Definitely not me. No, obviously me because I'm the one who plugged that in. But yeah, we're going to be going through the Derby prep ranking, Derby power rankings, prep rankings, power rankings. Call them what you want. We'll be going through the power rankings, top 10. We are going to be going through a couple horses that raced last week: Carbone, Nysos, Furious Anger. And then a couple upcoming races. We got three that are coming up. You'll notice I tend to lean towards the Churchill on the upcoming races. When I record these, there's just not a whole lot out about the entries at Del Mar. So I didn't know about Nysos coming in this weekend, or didn't know what the field looked like for the Bob Hope Stakes. So we do focus on Churchill because they do release more entries ahead of time. Not that you guys care about that. Let's get moving. All right, let's talk about some power rankings here. Obviously, not a whole lot is going to be changing in these power rankings. Fierceness at the top, probably not going to change until we get some negative news coming out about him, or some positive news coming out about another horse that starts to shoot up the rankings. And I'll keep Locked as my number two there. A lot of people probably wondering why not Muth. I do like I like the way Locked recovered in that race. Wasn't that far off of Muth in that race. He got boxed in a little bit, which I'm hoping in another race won't happen. I'm not super high on Muth for whatever reason. I don't think he's going to be the Baffert of all Bafferts. Nysos right behind him. I actually like Nysos a little bit better than Muth, but I'm hesitant to move him up there because so far Nysos has not run an 8.5 furlong race. It's tough for me to put him that much higher above a horse that ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and finished second. I can't do it yet, but right now I really like what I'm seeing from Nysos. Knightsbridge, talked about him last week. Booth is up there as well. Going to hold on to him a little bit longer. Curious to see if he's going to be racing in anything ahead of any of those prep races that we're going to start seeing January, February. Prince of Monaco, going to hold on to him for a little bit longer. My third Baffert on the list. I was thrilled about him before, a little less thrilled now, but that Breeders' Cup Juvenile, that was the first time he ran 8.5 furlongs. So maybe he gets better the second time out. We'll see. The Wine Stewart, Mystic Dan, they sort of round out my numbers there. So the big movers here for me: Nysos hitting the list. Nash, wanted to move him up because I really do like the performance that Nash put on a week ago. So let's see what else we got going on here. Taking a look back, we do have Carbone. Yes, this is a race that we talked about last week. Looking ahead to this race, I liked Miyagi. Miyagi filling up the stat sheets when it comes to workouts, dropping 46 second, 48, 4 furlongs, but not showing it in a couple races, right? I mean, he's gone out there, finished fourth in this race, considerable distance behind Carbone. Carbone just went out there and blasted him. 6 furlongs, yes, but 8 lengths in lead. Um, if you look at the times there, 109.84 versus a 107.5 from Indian Chant. Pretty impressive. Didn't get challenged a whole lot. Hit the straightaway, had a 3 length lead, stretched it out to 8 lengths over Goldbrick. So yeah, Carbone, considerable. Now, what else are we going to look forward to here? Where's my video? Where's my video? Oh, there it
And
is.
back into third is Tejon Pass. Mission Beach is given way, and they're into the stretch. And under a hand ride, Nysos and Flavian Pratt come by the eighth pole and begin to lengthen their lead. Without being asked to run, Nysos by 3, Nysos by 4, Nysos by 5. Nysos in the Bob Hope wins with style. Looking good.
Yeah, Nysos winning by 8+ lengths in that race. Small field. I mean, look at this. It's embarrassing sometimes when you look at these West Coast races in Del Mar and Santa Anita, the big races like the Bob Hope. You would hope that this would be filled with 2 year olds looking to make a name for themselves. But you take what's given to you. The things that stick out to me, obviously, Nysos, um, as the announcer noted there, hand ride down the stretch, still strengthened that lead over Stronghold. If you look at his first race, gate to wire in that one. If you look at this race, not that he was far behind, but he was playing from behind in this one. Obviously, with 4 horses, not a lot of traffic to deal with here. But also noting on that hand ride, current track record for Solar Launch in 1990, a 120, dropped to 121.71 on a hand ride, not being urged along much at all. This is why I want to put Nysos above Muth. I think that in looking at this race and seeing what he's capable of, this might be the prime Baffert here, the Baffert prime. Uh, Got to see him at 8.5 furlongs, but obviously after looking at video of that at 7 furlongs, you got to look ahead and think, okay, this horse, he can take the distance. It's going to be pretty impressive watching Nysos. Going to be fun to watch him to watch. Going to be fun to watch him in these West Coast prep races. And finally, not as thrilling. Furious Anger wanted to take another maiden special weight race in here. Not a huge one. Talking about 6 horses. Furious Anger put up a pretty good time here. 991, comparable to what we talked about with Carbone at 6 furlongs. Nothing too thrilling here. Dazzle Me Silver battling with the battle between those two pretty much the whole way. 120K purse. So yeah, we're talking a pretty hefty purse here. Considerable. Not hitting my numbers, not hitting my top 20 yet, but I'm gonna put them on the list to watch. What else we got going on here? Aha, yes, looking ahead. So we got 3 races that we're looking ahead to, and let's start with the biggest one. We've got a stakes race. I mean, this is for all intents and purposes a Derby prep race here. Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. 3 horses I'm looking at here. A couple that I'm overlooking on purpose. Stretch Ride from Street Sense done pretty well so far. Handled the distance admirably. Keeneland, 110K allowance race there. I think he's got 2 wins to speak of already under Dale Romans. That is my top pick there. In a field that has Asmussen, McPeak, Cox. I'm picking the Romans horse. And Pletcher, I might add, right? Risk It got second at the Iroquois behind West Saratoga. I imagine that he's going to come back strong in this one. Risk It is up there. And then Awesome Road struggled the first time in graded stakes at Iroquois. 7th place there. I'm looking for a rebound from Awesome Road. Brad Cox probably going to have his quality road horse looking better this time around. Nomos, the Pletcher horse, has had 2 stakes races to show anything and got a 12th and a 4th place to show for it. So I'm thinking third time out in a stakes race. I'm not going to put him in my top 3. Sorry, Nomos. Might make me look silly, but there's reasons for that. Moving on to the next race, we got another one in Churchill Downs. We've got a big one here, 120K maiden special weight race going 7 furlongs, 16 horses. 4 of them are also eligibles, also entries. My top horse here, Hall of Fame. It's going to be a firster. He's had some strong workouts. Asmussen, I love the gun runner bloodlines there. Asmussen and Tyler G starting there at the 5 hole in the middle, right next to my number 2 horse, Bow Street. Into Mischief, 2nd place first time out at Churchill Downs. Owned the lead for most of the race, beaten at the end by Bye Bye Liam. So got to think that he's going to come out in this one a bit stronger. And Brad Cox with firsters, hard to ignore his record there. He's been strong with firsters. This is a deep race, but if he's got anything in box office, the American Freedom horse, we could see a pretty strong Brad Cox horse performance here from box office. And then finally, Aqueduct on the 24th, race 4. We've got ourselves another maiden special weight race here, this time 85K. There's a few horses here that I think are worth noting. Looking past the Dutra horse, um, the Rick Dutra horse is one that everyone wants to consider these days because he's been practically unbeatable at Aqueduct past few weeks, past few months. But I am going to look past that horse at least for now. I'll start with Bold Ambition. Gold Magic, half brother to Muth, Mage, Reincarnate, Blazing Sevens. I mean, Gold Magic, the horses coming out of Gold Magic, Good Magic. I say Gold Magic. The horses coming out of Good Magic have been on fire. Chad Brown did some pretty good things with Blazing Sevens, a little bit of a disappointment. Let's see what he can do with Bold Ambition here. I think Bold Ambition is going to be a strong horse, as is Otello, coming from Curlin, Christophe Clement. Curlin always worth noting, especially on the Derby Trail. We know what the Curlin horses can do, so I'm going to point that one out. And I'm going to go back to Good Magic again. Gum Island, bad first time out at Aqueduct in October, so this would be a rebound race for him under Bill Mott. What else we got here? Anything else? Ah, more Elf, more Elf as a jockey, just as you wanted to see him. Um, Looking good there. Yeah, who doesn't love a good Elf? Okay, what do you guys think in terms of Kentucky Derby prep? Are we hitting it with good stride? Are we gearing ourselves up for December here? Are you going to load up on turkey? I hope so. All right, guys. See ya.